The story of Metal Gear has got to be one of the most difficult stories to follow in video game history. It's enough to give me a migraine. Then again, I have ADD, so it really doesn't take much at all to get me distracted. The Metal Gear series is as old as I am. The first game of the series was released in 1987, and when it was on the Nintendo Entertainment System, also known as the NES or NES. In Japan, it was known as the Famicom. You know what, you can call it whatever the hell you want. What comes to mind when you think of stealth games? Is it Splinter Cell, Assassin's Creed, or perhaps it's even Sly Cooper or Spy Hunter? All of which are respectable games, but are most definitely not the OG of stealth games. That OG title belongs to the Metal Gear series. They're known for their stupid difficulty and having to think outside the box for completing a mission. Looking at you, Psycho Mantis. If you know about the Psycho Mantis boss fight from Metal Gear Solid 1 on the OG PlayStation, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's not forget about the long theatrical cutscenes. The longest cutscene in the series was in Metal Gear Solid 4, with a runtime of nearly 1.5 hours long. You might as well make yourself some popcorn and get comfortable for this one. Like I mentioned before, the story of Metal Gear is rather complex, so I'll keep it short. Essentially, you are a spy that is sent on various missions to investigate something about a weapon named Metal Gear, a massive bipedal tank capable of nuclear destruction and a world cataclysmic level. The lore goes much deeper than that, but I will spare you the details to save you from any confusion. I'm the 90s Metal Gamer, and welcome to the 90s Metal Gamer channel. My personal favorite out of the entire Metal Gear series is Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance for the OG Xbox, where you primarily play as Raiden. Another one of my favorites is Metal Gear Rising for the Xbox 360, which is what we will be reviewing today. Metal Gear Rising is not your typical Metal Gear game. It brings a completely new flavor to the series. Those who have played this game know exactly what this flavor is. Quite frankly, I think this was a change for the good, and I would love to see a sequel for this game. Considering Hideo Kojima, the creator of the Metal Gear series, is no longer associated with the name, it is not likely that we will see a sequel, and if we do, it's going to be nowhere near as glorious as this. So before I start to ramble on any further, please join me while I review Metal Gear Rising for the Xbox 360. No cheats were used when I was recording my content, but I did play on the easiest difficulty with a guard assist. Now I already know what the completion elitists are going to say. Hey there, you did not complete the game on the hardest difficulty, it's not a real review. Shut up. Shut up. This is my channel, and I will complete and review the game however I see fit. If you want a review on the hardest difficulty, go ahead and create your own channel and you can do it. Anyway, let's get into this review.
I want to see your tiny head.
I was first introduced to the Metal Gear series with Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance on the OG Xbox in 2003, and since then I have been a die-hard fan of the series. The story just drew me in, and I wouldn't stop playing for hours at a time. It got to the point where I would pull all-nighters just to play this game. Not exactly a great idea for a 16-year-old high schooler. I first played Rising fairly recently, I believe it was around the time when the pandemic first kicked off in 2020 and everybody was pretty much stuck at home. I was bored at home, so I decided to get back to my one true love, gaming. I had plenty of time to catch up on my gaming considering my work really didn't allow me to do much before the pandemic except to eat and sleep. I put the game on my 360 thinking it was going to be another sneak fest. Boy, was I wrong. Rising is like God of War had a baby with Ninja Gaiden, and the result was this beautiful gem. Rising doesn't put much emphasis on stealth, although it is suggested throughout the game. I mean, it's still a stealth game if everyone is dead, right? I really do feel like this game doesn't get the praise that it truly deserves, even though it deviates from its origins. I'm going to start off by saying literally everyone is a damn cyborg ninja. Since the entire Metal Gear series is riddled with confusion and lots of questions, I will do my best to explain this one. Rising takes place 4 years after the events of the Guns of the Patriots incident, which is Metal Gear Solid 4. Raiden has been contracted for VIP protection, military training, and other duties by a private military company named Maverick Security Consulting, an American PMC based in Colorado in an unnamed developing country in Africa, trying to piece itself back together after a bloody civil war. Raiden largely did this to support his family without having to return to direct combat situations. Raiden is protecting a VIP when they are attacked by a cyborg organization led by Cyborg Samuel Rodriguez, also known as Jetstream Sam. Sam completely destroys Raiden and is in dire need of reconstruction. Raiden is reconstructed by his PMC, and his search for Sam and the company he works for, Desperado Enforcement, drives him into a quest for vengeance. Here's a little backstory about Raiden. His adopted name is Jack, and he was part of a child soldier group in Liberia. During this time, he was taught to kill, and he was very good at it. So much so that he earned the name Jack the Ripper. He has since buried his past and now fights for the greater good. You know what? Good for him. I am super proud of him for turning over a new leaf. Somewhere between Metal Gear Solid 2 and Rising, he became a cyborg ninja. I didn't play Metal Gear Solid 4, so I guess that would probably answer a lot of the questions. I said I'm a gamer. I never said anything about being good at it. Rising looks absolutely beautiful. Most Metal Gear games are dark and brooding, considering they're based on stealth. Not Rising though. It is very bright and colorful right from the start. Just take a look at the gameplay. If I didn't know any better, I would have guessed this game was from the PS4 and Xbox One generation. The music fits perfectly. In the middle of a battle sequence, there's heavy metal music playing, and when you're on your way to your next objective, you will hear suspenseful music. Due to the DMCA, I cannot play some of the music on this channel. Otherwise, I would definitely play a short clip. I'm just trying to not get any more copyright claims on this channel. Rising was released in February 2013, which was nearing the end of the life of the Xbox 360 and PS3. So I think a lot of people would agree with me when I say that this game should have been ported over to the next generation of consoles, which would have been the PS4 and the Xbox One. Alright, you already know what I'm going to do. Shameless plug. If you like what you see, go ahead and drop a like, follow, comment, share, and subscribe. Do all the things. I am a solo YouTuber. So any little help that I get will go a long way. I will remember you. I love you. The controls are pretty straightforward, but at times it can be a little complex. It is a hack and slash, but it goes deeper than that. I keep comparing it to God of War because the gameplay is very similar. There are quick time events where you will have to hit a series of buttons correctly to avoid taking damage. There is a reason why I chose the easiest difficulty. Normal difficulty made me rage quit, and I wasn't even thinking about switching to the hard difficulty. This game requires you to use all of your skills. You'll be defending and parrying a lot. Failure to do so can result in a game over, and in turn can result in rage quitting. The only way I was able to beat this game was on the easiest difficulty with guard assist. The guard assist isn't perfect though. You will still get attacked relentlessly. You will have plenty of opportunities to refill your life gauge though. When your opponent is staggering, you can use a technique called Zandatsu. With this technique, you have the ability to seemingly slow down time. You can analyze your opponent and a little square will pop up indicating where you should strike. You strike this area and you can acquire your opponent's fuel cells. These fuel cells replenish your life. About halfway through, you get access to Ripper mode. Think of it as Rising's version of Spartan Rage from God of War. While in Ripper mode, Jack loses all sense of himself and becomes bloodthirsty. You have the ability to one slice kill everything except bosses and larger opponents. The boss fights are insanely difficult, even on the easiest setting. At least 3 of the boss fights I had to try multiple times. They're extremely technical and you have to time your strikes correctly and perform quick time actions, otherwise you will take a lot of damage.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Aside from the hack and slash party going on, you will also have the ability to do stealth kills. Just creep up behind your opponent and press the button that comes on screen and you'll activate a QuickTime event stealth kill. Of course, it wouldn't be a Metal Gear game if we didn't have the iconic and of course your trusty stealthy cardboard box. Rising has RPG elements for your armor and weapons which are upgradable with battle points. You get battle points based on how you perform in each mission. After each mission, you will have the opportunity to upgrade your arsenal. After each boss fight, you can acquire that boss's weapon, which you can also upgrade. You can also use your battle points to learn new techniques and attacks. Believe me, they will come in handy. The game starts out rather simple. 2 tutorial levels are offered at the beginning before you begin your story. I highly recommend going through it so you can have a general idea of how the game is played. Like I said before, this is not your typical Metal Gear game. Rising is rather short for a Metal Gear game, being only 8 missions long. It took me a little over 10 hours to complete, and the story was much easier to follow as opposed to previous Metal Gear games. I am pretty sure that I cannot play the music in this video without getting a copyright claim. So just to play it on the safe side, I will put a link in the description to the original soundtrack. The music is high energy with heavy metal music playing during the battle sequences and suspenseful music playing when you're on your way to your next objective. You really have to trust me on this one here. I'm going to be honest with you. I make absolutely no money for my videos and I'm trying my best to do right by the YouTube algorithm. Cut me some slack, okay? I am doing my absolute best. I had so much fun playing this game, and for what it's worth, I will most definitely keep this game in my personal top 10 collection. It does stray from its stealthy origins, and it brings something totally different to the table. This change was for the good of the series. But I don't see something like this happening again, considering Hideo Kojima left the series in the hands of Konami. What does this mean? Well, I really don't know. Konami released another Metal Gear game in 2018 called Metal Gear Survive, and it was out Kojima. It received roughly a 60% approval rating from the fans, and this was due to the fact that Kojima had absolutely nothing to do with that project. I have honestly never played it, but I do trust my fellow gamers and other die-hard fans to leave an honest review. Based on what I have read about it, I will compare it to Sonic 06. Good idea, horrible execution. Okay, enough about Survive in Sonic 06. This video is about Rising. I did not get a rush of 90s nostalgia when I was playing it, but it did remind me a lot of God of War. A man who is literally too angry to die and just looking for revenge. With all that said and done, I give this game a beer score of 5 out of 5 beers. There is something that confuses me though. Why is everyone in this world a damn cyborg? That's all the time we have for today, guys. So if you like what you see, go ahead and drop a like and drop a comment for the algorithm. I am a solo YouTuber. I run this channel solo, so any kind of support I get will go a long way. I will remember your name. What game should I review next? Drop a comment, let me know. I'll catch you on the next video. Love y'all.